Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of a new podcast approaches. I'm here today with, as usual, here on this absolutely golden podcast. I must say there aren't many like it, but as a true star of the show, I must introduce my other podcast bro.
Hey, this is Girl from the Datalyzers. Welcome back to another new episode of a new podcast approaches. As you can tell, this is the last guest in Podcast Volume 2, and we're ending it with a big banger. But before we get to our special guest, I'm going to give it off to...
Hey, it's SpaceKing again. I'm not so tired. I'm actually on the verge of death anymore today. So I'm gonna be here though. I'm gonna be here for the long haul again. And also I did not acquire a PlayStation 5 for my for my continuing stay in the dungeon, so I am very upset. And with that terrible news out of the way, I would like to give the mic over to our wonderful guest.
This is Cooper WAHnimates, or just Cooper if you want to just call me that. I don't care. But yeah, I'm here. Hi.
I'll just call you Animates.
Good enough.
I'll call you Coop.
That's also fine.
Coop's like the partner from Paper Mario 64.
I have gotten so many people calling me that, but I am just fine with it.
Okay, so what are we talking about today, guys?
A lot of stuff actually, because there's been a decent amount of interesting stuff going on. But let's start off with explaining who Cooper is. For those who don't know, first of all, he was by far our most popular guest request.
Yep.
That I was.
He's also boards for Smash on Twitter. You should follow him.
I agree.
But most importantly, he has been a large supporter for us for a long time. Being the person who does our art, like those little people in the thumbnail. And we are eternally appreciative of that. So I just want to quickly say, before we talk about any of the main subjects, thank you, Cooper.
Oh, no problem. It's been a interesting ride, but no, I don't mean that in a bad way. Obviously, you guys are wonderful people.
You sure about that?
I am
Yeah,
very
of
sure
course
about
he's
that.
sure. Of course he's sure.
Yeah, I
It's in
know.
your usernames.
Yeah.
I mean, only a few of us are wonderful.
Oh,
Oh,
I appreciate it.
Aww. Yeah. Awkward silence.
Your favorite kind of silence, right?
Yep.
It's the best. It's the best silence ever.
Well, anyway, sorry if I'm a bit slow. We're starting an hour late, meaning it's 11 p.m. for me, which is beautiful.
Mhm.
But yeah, a lot of stuff has been happening this week, which basically has shaken the entire gaming community. But we'll save some of that until later. But first of all, let's talk about something more Smash related. The Mario tournament's happening soon.
Oh yeah.
And apparently it's been confirmed to be happening in the US and England. Like, the dates have been revealed, but they haven't tweeted about it.
Yeah, it's weird. They announced it last night for PST at like 6 p.m. So there was an article kind of on the Nintendo of America website, and also on Nintendo of Europe's, and it gave details about like the whole tournament. It would start on December 12th, which is next Saturday. All fighters from the Mario series, as well as Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Yoshi, and Wario, are going to be in it too, for some reason. All stages from the Donkey Kong stages, the Yoshi stages, and all Mario stages are going to be there. Items, just everything from Donkey Kong and Mario, and yeah, that's basically all. But there's something. Why did not Nintendo of America or Nintendo of Europe not post the tournament details at all. Not even just that. They have not pinned a tweet. There's not been a pinned tweet on their Twitter for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
That's weird.
Yeah. What else is that today, there was a Nintendo Rewind of November 2020 where basically like at the beginning of the next month they talk about everything that they've revealed or released in the last month. They took it down after like 10 minutes of it being released for some reason, and then it came back up 2 hours or 2 or 3 hours later, but it's still the exact same, no major changes. So that's weird. Something's definitely fishy at Nintendo. Something's definitely.
And in addition to something being fishy, I would just like to point out something incredible. 17 people are tuned in to watch right now.
Let's go.
I think people really wanted to see Cooper.
Yeah, some of them are my real life friends. Some of them are online friends. They're just all really heckin' excited to see me. I have chat on my phone open, and I was like, okay, they all want me. All right.
And not just that, I think the stream is 4K. I think.
Ooh.
Or something like that. Let me check.
4K for little old me?
Something like that, yeah. Oh, no, it's 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's really good.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Go.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, SpaceKing, for that.
What?
Thank you for making your stream 1080p, 60 frames per second.
My entire presence just rises up the resolution.
Yep.
Well, I have the upload speeds to pull it off, so might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do on Twitch.
60 frames per second for a still image. Damn, this frame quality is beautiful.
Okay, but in all fairness, though, the high encode does mean that the audio should also be pretty high quality as well. Speaking of which, how is the audio right now? Does it need turned up, chat?
How's the audio? My chat? Not my chat. I don't know why I said that. Whatever. No, ignore me.
What do you mean, my chat?
I said my chat, but I don't own the chat.
Maybe just a little bit. It's good for me. Wah is kind of quiet compared to everyone else. Okay, I'll turn up Wah.
Nah, I highly doubt he would be quiet. Wah is probably one of the loudest people here.
I just did check on him. I saw that the audio was pulled down just a sliver on his...
Oh my good sir, you have...
How could you disrespect me like that?
Well,
my good sir, you have no idea how loud I can get.
It's because you're quite the loud boy.
I don't know if I should be proud or insulted.
No, my boys. You have no idea how loud I can get. I can get fairly loud.
You say quite quietly.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Sure about that?
I am 100% sure about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm just trying to
no need to ask
weird
questions there.
conversation.
Anyway, so yeah, with the Smash event, this brings me up to another Smash thing. 2-year anniversary recently. Or we're coming up to it, even.
That's this Monday, right?
It's, I believe, on the set. Yeah, this Monday.
Yeah. Luckily, that's going to be a day where I'm out of school, so I can celebrate it.
Which obviously means we're going to get a Smash reveal, guys. It all makes sense.
Dude, it makes 100% sense. 100% sense.
Everything's a hint for a Smash reveal, am I right?
Dude, you're totally right. Like that Sakurai just says one little word. That's a Smash hint.
Yeah, didn't you see his picks of the day? Clearly a hint for Freddy Fazbear in Smash, right?
Dude, obviously.
what else would be the logic? It wouldn't be a hint. Get serious. But yeah, 2 years. But the 2-year anniversary is pretty awesome, in all honesty.
Honestly, I keep forgetting that they came out in 2018. Like, for some reason, it feels like a 2019 game.
It feels like... Now to describe it, it feels old and new at the same time, at ways.
Yeah. I think that's like the magic of Smash DLC, really. Like, it could be like a fear, like, in Ultimate's case, 2 years old. Or whenever the last DLC comes out, 3 years old, I think. It still feels like it just came out like a few months ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. And with the passing time, it looks like Smash will just get bigger and bigger.
Hopefully. I mean, honestly, I'm one of the people that says that Ultimate could be the last game of the Smash series. I hope I'm wrong, but with how they're handling this game, it doesn't feel like they're gonna continue from it.
It won't be the last one.
Yeah, like this is legit the biggest game in the series.
The last game, but I don't know if they could repeat this for a long time.
Of course, definitely not.
Well,
theoretically, it won't happen for a long time.
Okay, I've spoken on this before, but I feel like a lot of the people who are saying, "Oh, they're gonna cut everything," right? I feel like a lot of the people who say that don't realize that by like the mere fact that Ultimate exists means that if they do not even attempt to match the content that is currently available, then that means that any future Smash installments will be compared negatively. And Nintendo does not like that. They like to be constantly improving with their first-party entries, their major games. And that's why I say that anyone who assumes that Smash it can only go down from here does not realize that Smash is a extraordinarily important intellectual property to Nintendo, to their business, and as such, I feel that we are underestimating Nintendo when we say, oh, the next Smash game will only have 25 characters, or something along those lines. I can almost guarantee you that just about any third-party character they secure now, that they're probably securing them forever. As in, we can have them for now and forever. And Nintendo's own first-party characters, well, they already own them, so there's no concerns there.
Being real, I feel like most third parties are really overrated when they say they're at risk. Like, I feel like the best example of this is probably Cloud. Like, people act like you barely got into Ultimate, but with some research, you'll realize that Final Fantasy's just legally screwed. Like, the music's owned by multiple companies, the official artwork's owned by multiple companies. So, let's say for the 2 songs, they would have to pay off multiple companies just for those 2 songs.
The licensing for Final Fantasy is just a bunch of jank, honestly.
It's just a bunch of how legal work. But Cloud isn't really at risk from Square Enix end at all.
Rainbow Smash Pichu said in the chat, Sakurai himself said during the Banjo-Kazooie presentation that another Smash game won't be as big as Ultimate in his eyes. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? Sakurai also assumed that it would be impossible to get Ridley into Smash. He also has changed his mind a lot over the years. He didn't think that Mies would make for a good addition. He didn't think that the Villager would make for a good addition. He's gone back a lot of times, and originally there was like this air of reverence around third-party characters, but now just about anyone can get into the game. For a while there, it seemed like the barriers were just way too big to get characters from the West, and now they're here. So Sakurai's word isn't law. It's a good indication, but it is not a good set of law. The only thing that we can be certain of is what he says as it pertains to characters for a specific game. Okay? So he's talking about we can't have Ridley in Smash 4 because we'd have to shrink it. It wouldn't work. Okay, that was just Smash 4. And now he's talking about a game like the successor to Smash Ultimate. He's talking about a game that does not yet exist and probably won't exist until 2025 or later.
I'd say later, because you also have to consider the Switch will likely get a new model, meaning it will likely have a longer Switch lifespan. The Switch is, in all honesty, also part handheld, so you need to consider the route they took.
Okay,
So
but I feel like we can reasonably expect the Switch successor by 2024, 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But then we don't know what'll happen with Smash. Will they just stick with Ultimate because they'll probably not be able to top it, or will they end up making a new one there?
Well, even in that case, I could very realistically see a scenario where they just port Ultimate, spice it up with 4K assets, maybe throw a few more characters in, and then call it a generation.
And then
I was just
do
about to say the same thing.
more DLC.
I was just about to say that like it could be like a deluxe port. Like that's the most I can see from like a brand new Smash game. Like I don't think we're ever going to see a brand new Smash game like Ultimate ever again. We'll most likely get ports of the old games. I'm 100% sure of that. We'll most likely get ports of the games, but I don't think we'll be getting a brand new game that can potentially top Ultimate, because personally to me this is the Smash game that cannot be topped.
I feel like when Sakurai said the thing about we'll never get Ultimate again, it isn't necessarily also considering characters, it's considering the shock factor.
Yeah.
Unless you take a long break from having everyone is here, you're not going to have that shock value. You'd have to go maybe 20 years without having that again. At least another few Smash games for that shock factor to return.
Like, I don't think any other character is going to be able to match the shock factor that Steve brought. Like maybe if they, yeah, like if they were to get another character, get another thing to be able to match the hype, or like the hype of a certain character thing, it would most likely be something from Fortnite, which does pain me to say, but I feel like that would be like one of the only other characters that could potentially get to the level that Steve got. But that's saying that Fortnite has a huge chance to get into Smash. I'm not saying it has any chance. It has some chance, but I'm saying like it doesn't have that big of a chance. Therefore, I don't think we'll be getting a character or thing like Steve ever again.
I mean, that's fair. You can have your opinion.
Yeah.
But one thing you should acknowledge is, even if we do get everyone else is here, Ultimate's still going to be special just due to the fact of how shocking it was. Mm-hmm. Not many people thought everyone is his was going to happen. A few people did, most people didn't. And I feel like if we ever continue in Smash games, people would continue hoping and predicting that would happen. If that be out of stubbornness or hope.
Like they could do another case where, like they could like make a new game be like another everyone is here case, but that's not going to be able to match the shock factor, the surprise factor, the specialness that Ultimate brought. Like literally, the title in Japan is Smash Special, and that I know it's dumb, but like it's actually like full on saying like how special this game is, because it is. This is a very special Smash game in the case of like how the games have been handled. Like it's bringing back everyone, bringing back characters that everyone is wanting, some characters that people didn't want, but whatever. It's just a massive collection of everything that people thought would be perfect for Smash,
plus some, and I don't think if they were to make a new game, that was a everyone is here case, it wouldn't be able to match what Ultimate has brought because like everything in like everything from Ultimate was the first time Smash has ever done anything like this. So if they were to make like a sequel to Ultimate or like another game that's kind of similar to Ultimate where it doesn't everyone is here, it wouldn't be as special because it would be the second time that they're doing it. It wouldn't be like the first time they do anything is something special, and Ultimate is like on like a whole new level of this.
Well, a lot of people are mentioning this in the chat that they think that after Ultimate, Sakurai will retire. Let me just tell you that that's not going to happen. Or some people, one dude even suggested like, I'm going back to working on Kirby. No, that's not going to happen. Even if Sakurai leaves behind Smash, he's gonna keep making games because he likes making games.
I can 100% see.
He is, in all honesty, a workaholic. That ain't changing.
Yeah.
I do think he's quitting Smash after this. I genuinely do.
For sure.
I don't think, but he ain't quitting gaming.
I can see him taking a break of sorts, like a few years, but not full on retiring.
I don't even think a few years. It'd probably be like what he did for Smash 4 after he got done with it. He took a 2-month vacation and then got right on to Ultimate. Like for that, I think it'd be a little more like, okay, done with Ultimate, or taking a 3-month long vacation, gonna spend time with the family and play some games and have some fun. Well, whatever you can with the human malware, but also I say human malware because anything else gets you demonetized. but basically, really, I think that the people who say that, like, oh, Sakura is going to retire and stuff, like, they don't really understand his development philosophy. Like, he just makes games because he likes making games. He likes making stuff that impacts people's lives. And I guarantee you that if, like, Kid Icarus Uprising had taken off as dramatically as a Smash game had, for instance, like, we probably would have gotten, there would have been a solid chance of another Kid Icarus game. Or maybe he tackles something else. Or as Meteos on DS shows, Meteos, whatever it's called, I don't remember the pronunciation exactly, maybe just strike it out on your own. The reason that he left HAL Laboratory was to have a sense of independence, to decide what it is that he is going to work on, and as such, enjoy a greater level of freedom than those within Nintendo directly, or its surrounding affiliated companies such as HAL Laboratory, Game Freak, Camelot Soft, etc. may enjoy. That's why it is that Smash is set up the way that it is, which is just kind of complicated, legally speaking. So really, yeah, somebody said in the chat, Sakurai heading to Hawaii after Ultimate. Yeah, absolutely. Spend a few months there, enjoy some time off, and then, but he would absolutely get right back onto Grindstone if he has a good idea for another game, or maybe he says, maybe he's sitting there playing a Switch one day and he's like, maybe we can, you know what would be cool? Maybe we could make a new Ice Climbers game for this thing. And that's how that happens.
Honestly,
3D Ice Climbers.
Honestly, I feel like if he retouched the series, a part of me thinks he would want to retouch Duck Hunt for some reason. Kind of, because of how he treated it. I feel like I'd want to make a Banjo-Kazooie styled game. Just a gut feeling, though.
I don't see him doing a 3D platformer, personally. I think he's more suited to action-type experiences, as evident by Kid Icarus Uprising as well as Smash. But I was just throwing out an idea there.
Honestly, actually, that's a question. If he rebooted a series, brought back a Nintendo series, which one would you want him to bring back?
Oh, Sakurai reboots a Nintendo series?
Yeah.
No,
That's one rule that has to be dead. It hasn't. In other words, it kind of had a game in the last, let's say, decade.
F-Zero.
Honestly, I can't think of. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like Chibi Robo, but that's not for like a personal reason because I've never even played Chibi Robo before, even though I want to. But like, I don't know. I feel like if Sakurai were to handle a Chibi Robo game, I feel like it'd be like not as easy as the Kirby games, like as he designed the Kirby games, but like the same mindset, like a beginner's game, but still fun for everyone to play. I feel like that'd be an interesting game for Sakurai to handle, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways, I threw out the idea there of F-Zero, just because Sakurai's like collectathon slash achievement structure that he does with his games, right? Um, I think that it would suit a racing game really well because every achievement could correlate to either unlocking a vehicle or a character in the game, right? And that would give you further incentive to play, sort of like Mario Kart 8 with its getting parts for your carts every coin that you get, right? And then maybe you could add in a customization element with the actual F-Zero machines, and uh, and I think that that would be really cool if Sakurai were to tackle a dead property, and also it's just like Sakurai is has a say in these Smash reveal trailers and how they go down. So I think that he has this character of Captain Falcon in the back of his mind. He always practically Captain Falcon is almost akin to a uh, a mascot of the Smash series at this point. So I think that you might end up in a circumstance where he just brings back F-Zero out of pity almost. Just like, I've been using this character for a decade and he doesn't even have his own games anymore.
Didn't he take the piss out of Captain Falcon about that one time in like Miiverse Pick of the Day?
Yeah, he said something to the effect of, "Oh, my dear Captain Falcon, when are you going to get your new own game again? When are you
I think it's funny
Wow.
I think it's funny how like some people just like treat F-Zero as like, we want this game back, but we're just suffering because we know it's not gonna come back. I want a new F-Zero game just to see those people happy because honestly I'm not the biggest fan of F-Zero, but it is a fun game. Not that big of a fan of it, but if it were to come back, I would be really happy for the people that did want it, just to be like, you got your game back. I'm happy for you. I'm not happy for myself because I didn't really want this, but I don't really care. It's a new game, but happy for you guys.
Hey,
Have fun.
Who remembers that F-Zero Nintendo account that totally was real?
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Who remembers that?
When was that? Like a few months ago or so?
Yeah,
Oof.
who remembers it? Honestly, you know what's been said about F-Zero? It almost came back on the Wii U. Apparently, the issue is they wanted a unique kind of controller, and it almost came back on the Wii U, but the developers were apparently busy.
Mm.
So,
Okay, so the
yeah.
whole story there goes is that a pitch was done by the developers of the Burnout series with EA. And it wasn't anything to do with the control setup, it's just that the Burnout devs were busy, and Nintendo wasn't that interested, so that's where that went.
Alright, well, if I had to choose a Nintendo series for them to resurrect, well, there's a lot of good choices, like, which one was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Punch Out. I would personally,
yeah.
go with Custom Robo. I don't know why, but I feel like Sakurai would make an amazing custom robo game. C&J,
Hmm.
you there? You there? Do you want to? Do you want to answer?
Out of F-Zero game.
No, it's
like,
about if Sakurai was going to resurrect a dead series after the Smash game from Nintendo's catalog, which one would you want him to resurrect?
Oof. That would be a little hard. I'd probably say Ice Climbers would be the best, but he would have to add a lot of new stuff to it if he's gonna make a big game for Ice Climbers or something.
So you'd say Ice Climbers.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody in the
Yeah,
chat said I want to punch out in the art style of Little Max reveal trailer. Absolutely.
That'd be one of the most stylized games I've ever seen, and I'd love every bit of it.
Do you remember how Little Mac was totally in arms?
Oh, he was 100% in arms. What do you mean? I have him. I
Yeah.
have him on my character roster.
Yeah, he's like my favorite arms character.
Yeah.
He uses his bones to stretch his arms. Really
They
odd choice that they made, but I
Yeah,
guess that's what you gotta do.
not so Little Mac anymore, is he?
Guess not.
Oh, by
But
the way,
my
Cooper.
favorite arms character by far was Paper Mario. Jesus, such a great arms character.
Yeah, dude.
Cooper, just one thing. Ant wanted to tell you a message. Sorry, Cooper, I can't talk to you. Thanks to all you've done for the podcast. Hashtag keep gaming.
Aw, thank you, Ant. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
silence for the third time. Oh, wow, you just when I said it. Speaking of arms, honestly, I'd watch an arms TV show in the style of Min Min's reveal trailer. That'd be cool.
Unironically,
That'd be neat.
Min Min had my favorite reveal trailer.
It was a good one.
Like by far, it wasn't even close.
As in what?
Like art style and the actual trailer.
Like me and a couple of friends watched it all together in our Discord server, and we, like, most people thought it was Springman, but me and I think one other person thought that it would be Min Min, and whenever it showed the Springman just got punched in the face, I was just like, who said what now?
I thought it'd be Twin Tail.
Mean.
I
thought
hoped it'd be
it-
Springman.
I hoped it would be Springman, but I just
Twin
knew
Tail?
it wouldn't be. They would have nothing about him being a cis, but it's more the fact that I just didn't picture them going with him, considering he was less popular within the arms community.
Yeah.
And so to me, while Springman had a chance, obviously it just didn't make much sense. Besides the aspect of being the face of arms, which I didn't really think helped him that much.
Like, even though I'm not really a big fan of ARMS itself, I can acknowledge that Min Min is a much more, like, recognizable character in quotes, and like more like an Eevee thing of sorts. Like Springman is the Pikachu, he's on the box art, while Min Min is the Eevee, basically the second mascot, but not really on a box art. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. But what I would say about Min Min is she should have been Twin Tail.
I was thinking it would be either Min Min or Twin Tail. But thinking about Twin Tail's design, I think it'd be better if they went with Min Min.
What do you mean? I think her design's wonderful. What an amazing design.
Alright.
So anyway, might as well ask you, Cooper.
Hmm.
Since you're in a for Smash account on board. Can you tell us a bit about him? Because I'm guessing quite a few people have no idea who he is. I don't.
Oh, I fully expected no one to remember or just know who this character was or WanderSong itself, because this game, while it was like fairly popular when it came out in 2018, recent years it's been talked about no times at all. Like there has been reviews for it, but other than that, I have just seen no one talk about this game at all. So I was like, hey, I like this game a lot. My favorite game of all time. So I was like, after I make this Bard's moveset, I was like, why not? And some other friends were like, you should totally make a Force Smash account for Bard. I was like, sure thing, why not? But so WanderSong is basically just like the think of it like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a platformer puzzle action adventure game where you don't really fight well to solve puzzles. You solve them by using your voice for singing, and in some places music, in some places magic. Sorry, with singing. But you play as the bard, and he's a pacifist because he just doesn't he just likes everyone. He loves everyone, and he is a very good boy. Yes, and like I don't know why I want him to Smash. Mostly because I just love this game a lot. But I want him to Smash because I feel like he'd be one of the most unique characters because he doesn't actually fight. He literally just sings, and I'm going off rail, but that's why I emphasized in the moveset I gave him. Like I made it to where like he doesn't throw any punches or kicks himself. What he does is he sings and the notes hit the characters and that does damage, or it's either him doing a dance, which I had him doing a smash attack, not a dash attack, sorry, or it was characters or things popping out of his control, therefore making him just a bystander for those attacks. Because he doesn't do anything. I said that a lot, but he doesn't do anything himself. So I thought it would be better if other characters came in or things came in and just attacked for him while he's just freaking out. It's like, what's happening? But anyway, so like the main story of WanderSong is basically to put it bluntly, his world is ending. He wants to save it, but he is not categorized as the hero that belongs to someone named Audrey Redheart. But I don't want to go too into the story because I want more people to play it blind. But to give like the basics, the world's ending. He's not a hero, but he wants to save it. Hilarity ensues, and also the second game that made me cry.
Oh, what was the first?
Undertale. The past. I'm not joking. Whenever I beat Asriel, I was like, "Stop making me cry, you goat!"
Oh,
Yes. Some of my friends know. If ever someone asks me about WanderSong, I'll just go on a full on rant because I am one of the only people. I'm one of the few people that I know who knows a lot about this game. So I just go on a full on rant, just like play the game, play the game.
Is it even? Sorry, what's the game called again?
WanderSong.
a WAHderfulGoldenStar, like a WAN, I think.
Yeah,
on
like
Twitch?
wandering and then song.
Is it on
Wondering.
Twitch?
Yeah, and some as Mr. Maniac said in chat, the bard got into frame makers as an assist, which broke my heart. But at the same time, I can understand why he's an assist because he doesn't attack. But after I made Smash moveset, I was like, he could definitely work at a Smash moveset. He could definitely have a moveset. He could definitely like have a fighting game moveset, but that's not to his character. So I can see why they made him assist. But
I just sat there just like, I just want to play as my boy. I just want to play as the boy, all right? But whatever.
Yeah, trust me. I'm pretty sure I know how it feels for your character to be shafted.
That's something we could talk about for a little while. Gaming moments that made us cry. That's always an interesting. It's always an interesting topic when we.
Yeah.
AKA top 10 saddest anime moments, but with gaming.
Yes, dude.
Okay, because I have no self-humility or whatever, or I should say no sense of shame. I have humility instead, which means I can admit that I do cry. I am not the Ubermensch. Okay. I'll just admit I've cried a lot playing games in the past, just because I allow myself to get quite invested into games and their worlds and their stories. But they're they still are quite few and far between, because I do play a lot of games, right? So like maybe one game a year or every other year it'll do that. As for specific moments that I can think of that really pushed it over for me was the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That tore me up inside really badly. A halfway point of Fire Emblem Three Houses. That one also tore me up really badly, just because by that point I was completely invested into what was going on, and I saw the characters not really as characters but as people. And I could think of a few more, but I'll just let you guys talk about it if you have anything you want to share.
1 minute. Okay, yeah, I've only cried twice from games. One of which, and both times are because they were important series to my heart, not because they were sad moments. I very rarely cry because of sad moments. I'm the type of guy who would just probably forget if an important character died in most cases.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Looking at that part in Final Fantasy VII. I'm not gonna say what part, but I'm probably the person who'd just look at that and think
The part.
yeah, and just be like, and then forget it 5 minutes later.
Like he's going on your adventures like, oh yeah, that happened.
Like
That's
everyone
important,
else,
I guess.
and everyone else is broken about it, and I'm just like, come on, guys, that wasn't Tifa. Why are you sad?
It's not the popular one. Why are you guys crying?
It's not the good one. What's wrong with you? What do you mean you have your own taste? Your taste is garbage. Next thing you'll say you don't like Waluigi. Wait, what?
Your opinion is trash.
But in all seriousness, I've only cried 2 times. 3 times when Waluigi gets in a smash. I mean, what? But first time I ever cried because of a game was Everyone Is Here.
Really? That's interesting.
It's the I'm gonna say something. Ultimate. If Ultimate didn't happen, I was getting out of gaming. I would have probably been out of gaming. The Smash cycle is what brought me back into gaming. So I owe that a lot. And I got my copy of Smash before I even owned a Switch, because exams suck. So yeah, I just looked to that every day for around a year until I could get a Switch. But that was the first time I cried. Second time was due to 3D All Stars, when I completed every game 100%. I know, I cry for the most weird reasons.
Tears of joy. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. For me, a tears of joy moment would be the true ending of the Samurai Jack game that came out this year. Like I won't spoil anything, but it was one of the most beautiful and emotional moments I've ever experienced in a game in my life.
Oh shit, there was a Samurai Jack game.
Yeah.
What about you, Cooper or CNJ? I know CNJ's probably cried.
I sadly I do not think I have. I don't really remember anything that I've cried from.
CNJ, I know for a fact you would have cried over a game.
No, like I feel like I have. I just cannot remember. This is hard.
There I
I'd
am.
probably say when Joker was revealed. Probably that would be one time. Oh. Okay, I remember one, but it's very weird. Let's say the Kung Fu Panda video game on the Wii. When I 100% beated it, it took me 2 years.
It was like a
I apparently
satisfying
cried
cry.
because of that. Yeah, I apparently cried because I finished the game 100%.
Kung Fu Panda on Wii. That
Well, what am I gonna do in my life now? There's no more Kung Fu Panda on Wii.
there's no Jack Black Panda in my life. What am I gonna do now?
I guess I'll just have to restart the game and start from scratch.
Yes.
The end of the Spider-Man game also had me in tears, now that I remember.
Which Spider-Man game?
The PS4 one.
Many. Fair.
Which PS4 one?
The original or Miles Morales?
The original. Miles Morales is the PS5 one. I mean, it's on
I believe
PS4. It's on
It's on
PS4,
both.
but everybody's going to play it on PS5. It's the Breath of the
That's
Wild
fair.
of the PlayStation.
Except
fair.
people actually own PS4s.
Okay, but everybody that wants to play that game is going to buy it on the PS5. Like,
Yeah.
that's just going to be the thing. Like,
Or if they're a true gamer, they get both versions.
Or if
I
they're
did
a
that.
true
I
gamer-
did that for Breath of the Wild, but only because GameCube copies of Twilight Princess are actually quite rare nowadays. So
yeah, I
my thought
remember
was,
that.
hey, if I get the Wii U copy of Breath of the Wild, maybe it'll be worth something someday.
I doubt it.
Like people on
yeah.
Amazon. What the hell's a Wii U?
Actually,
The
the
Wii
Wii
U
U
is
is
a Wii U.
actually quite expensive to collect games for now.
Oh no.
Really?
It's a modern day Sega Saturn. And if you know
exact-
anything about Sega Saturn collecting, it's nightmarish.
Thank God I don't want any more games on my Wii U.
Thank God. Thank God the entire game selection is just gonna be ported to the Switch.
I mean, yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X is the last man standing. And that'll probably
Yeah.
go next year or the year after.
I believe there is a few others.
Fatal Frame. Who cares?
I care.
Yeah.
There are a few other notable games on there, but the main one's probably like the HD Legend of Zeldas, and which we're probably going to get next year. In all honesty,
The
we're
HD
probably gonna get-
Zeldas in Xenoblade X, that's really it that people care about at this
Yeah.
point. Speaking of which, actually, today is the 5-year anniversary of Xenoblade Chronicles X, now that I remember it.
Ooh.
the
Oh,
game-
yeah, and what days today? 3 days ago was the third anniversary of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, on Twitter, like, the entire Twitter communities for, like, RPG Twitter sort of celebrated, because, you know, it was a pretty big game for the RPG sub-fandom. And I know a lot of people crapped on that game when it first had come out, but it's quite... It definitely seems as though, like, as time has gone on, a lot of people have warmed up to it, and a lot more than what was before.
We like this game. It just took 5 years.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the thing is that like people that hate the thing were just more vocal at the start, and then finally people
Yeah.
just piss off. And then you have just the positive community that's left over at the end.
With Xenoblade 2, the only memory I have of it currently is checking on the pick of the day and seeing people actually say that, oh god, this is a hint for Rex. Oh my god, Rex confirmed. And at that moment, I turned off Twitter and walked away.
Oh, you mean the thing
Yeah,
celebrating the anniversary?
Yeah, because clearly, Sakurai clearly has a long history of hinting around Smash characters and picks of the day, obviously. Like
I've had seen the inverse happen, where some people say, "Oh, this deconfirms Rex." Absolutely not. This has nothing to do with that either way. That was imposed for an anniversary, you idiots.
Like, in my
sorry.
opinion, people are stupid.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
People are just trying to be biased using something that isn't evidence as evidence. Because this one I'm going to say, people are saying, oh, it discounts Rex because Sakurai would have ignored it completely. That would raise more red flags than him doing an anniversary. People who say this is a hint to Rex are just stupid. And people who just ignore it are normal. So no one in the Smash fandom.
Hey.
What is your opinion about people that are trying to use this as evidence against, though?
I can get what they're coming with, but they are completely wrong and stupid, because if Sakurai ignored it, that would raise even more red flags than if he acknowledged it.
It's not evidence for either side. It's just funny image.
It's literally just funny image. Now
Yeah.
let the biased fans argue about it, because heaven forbid we get Rex, or heaven forbid we don't get Rex.
Let the lions loose.
Like, seriously, remember when this happened in Pack 5 with Val?
Yep.
And I kept onto a meme, and I held onto a meme that day that basically was all the picks of the day leading to Freddy Fazbear. And I refused to delete it.
Ha.
I feel like one of the more common examples that I use for people being dumb when it comes to the picks of the day is the one with the clocks. I saw people.
Figure
it out.
Excuse me.
I have figured it out with the clocks.
Now that based on the okay, so based on the orientations of the clock, that most likely was a reference to Crash, but that has no bearing one way or the other. That has no bearing one way or the other on whether Crash gets in or not. Like, Sakurai plays more games than just Smash Bros.
Honestly, I'm just fed up with people trying to say these are hints. And I'm fed up with the clock shit. Just be quiet about that.
I'll not be quiet, because apparently I also found out that it might be a very early reference to the salty towers from Fortnite in Season 5. There's a clock tower.
You know what?
Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry, I had to make that reference.
You know what the hint to is? Hint to Chrono. Get hyped. Chrono's in.
Yes.
I would take that. I would take that very, very, very quickly and happily.
And then because of that, everyone's going to start making memes saying Chrono's Goku, and that's the entire Chrono Trigger fandom from that point on.
You kind of have that already with Yusha.
The Chrono Trigger fandom is dying. Retweet to save the Chrono Trigger fandom.
I only saw the clocks as it most likely was a reference to Crash 4, considering the positions of the hands and the clocks.
Wait, I think
exact to.
I personally
were exact to the.
Personally, it might have been a reference, but I'm fed up. But I don't want to acknowledge it's a reference because people are going to begin saying it confirms Crash if I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. Like,
I mean,
could
Crash has
acknowledge
a
that
good shot,
it is.
but that doesn't
I
confirm
I
it.
with Crash, I personally think he's 50-50. I could see him going either way. I really,
I
I
thought
really,
I saw the clock. Sorry, but I see the clocks as just a pure reference to Crash 4 because, as we know, Sakurai plays a lot of games. He has a lot of
Wait,
systems,
Sakurai
as we
plays-
saw.
that's a lie. Sakurai
Sakurai
isn't
plays
allowed
games.
to
Is it a
play games.
Nintendo? What?
So Sakurai ain't allowed
Sakurai.
to play games. He isn't allowed a life outside of Smash. What's he doing? He's meant to be developing more characters. Am I right?
Sakurai, what the heck? Go back to developing. Go back to your chair.
Go. Don't make us sell Kirby to Revio.
Go back to developing Epic Mickey for Smash
Yeah.
and Bard.
Go back. Go back to
and
putting funny.
Waluigi and
Go back to
Isaac.
putting.
I swear that's how most Smash fans act without saying it.
Go back.
Like-
Go back to. Go back to putting funny lawyer man in Smash.
You know what he's going to go back to? Just to
Hmm.
spite the entire fandom, he's going to add. The next patch is just going to be consisting of characters from the most toxic communities. Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're going to get. We're going to get.
Perfect. We're gonna get a
We're gonna
BTS
we're gonna
character.
get John Z. We're gonna get. We're gonna get a Dong and Romper rep. We're gonna get
Another Persona rep.
Nah.
Honestly, I'd be so down for Danganronpa rep.
We're gonna
That'd
get.
be so cool.
What other screwed up fandoms are there? We're gonna get we're gonna
Women
get
Frisk.
we're gonna get a Rule 34 rep.
We're gonna get a BTS rep.
Get excited, guys. Past 3 is among
Get
us.
Frisk, naturally, because as we all know, Undertale's fandom is a big, big fat woof.
We're also gonna
of
get
memes.
We're also gonna get Freddy Fazbear.
Yes.
We're gonna get so many awesome inclusions. And then just to end it off, he's gonna add a Fire Emblem character.
No. They're gonna replace every single character with Marth, King K Marth, Donkey Marth.
What do you mean? Marth is just a clone of Link.
You're right. So that we'll get every character being Link. Got it.
Oh, finally, my favorite sword fighter, Zelda.
Mario.
Is dead.
Oh, speaking of Fire Emblem, I just thought I should point out that today saw the release of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon officially in the West, and that's really cool because
Don't march.
It's Fire Emblem.
With a limited release, because that makes all the sense.
I imagine that it will probably be added to the Nintendo Switch Online service, or there'll be some sort of alternative distribution model. And I think that that's the same story that we'll probably see in Mario 3D All-Stars and other stuff.
3D All-Stars I'm unsure about. I do feel like we'll probably get N64 online eventually.
Or maybe after March, like they'll just debundle the components of 3D All-Stars and just sell the 3 games individually on the eShops.
All for $60. What a bargain, guys!
I kept seeing people like being annoyed at the $60 tag, but I am honestly perfectly fine with 3D All-Stars being $60. Because I think about it, it's $20 each. For
honestly, I get why people are upset about it, but I feel like this is my
they're
stance.
being overreactive.
I don't feel like people would care, despite the issue still being there, if Galaxy 2 was there.
No. They wouldn't be as annoyed because they're not remakes. They're just ports. If they were full on remakes, people would be like, take $100. I don't care. But since they're just ports, which honestly I'm fine with, people are now like, what? $60 for a port? What is this? This is a robbery, highway robbery. And it's just like, no. Think about it, like $20 games each game.
I mean, why
come on.
couldn't? I mean, I won't lie. To say ports, I wasn't upset about Galaxy 2, but I was so upset we didn't get Mario 64 DS and Mario 3D Land.
That I am upset. Like I didn't play the original Mario 64. I played the DS version. So if we got
and I played 3D Land, and those were some of my first 3D Marios.
3D Land and 3D World are so good, dude. They're so.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those two are some of the most underrated Mario games. Like I don't hear people talking bad about the games, or that they're just bad in general. I just feel like I don't hear as many people talking about how good they were.
I literally never hear people talking about 3D Land.
Never heard. Yeah.
Anyways, I thought I should just considering like the Mario community's been in a massive uproar, I just thought I would address how the Fire Emblem community seems to have responded to the whole situation with the limited release. I feel like, considering I guess I'm the only guy that gives a crap about Fire Emblem here, but
I tried to get into 3 houses. I couldn't figure out how to start the first day.
I've never even touched a Fire Emblem.
You probably should. They're really good games.
What's a Fire Emblem?
What's that? I don't know what that is.
I'm not. Anyways, well, there was like some anger. I found that the Fire Emblem community was like way more like receptive, like way more receptive to just the game being released in any capacity, honestly, because like it's been like a talked about prospect within the Fire Emblem community for an extraordinarily long time to get Robbie Bella's I hate it here. Okay, good. Anyways, as I was saying, like it has been a topic that has been discussed for an extraordinarily long time to try and get the older games into English, and I just think that people in the Fire Emblem community don't care that it's a limited release. They are just happy at the fact that it got an English release at all.
Yeah, I feel like with Fire Emblem fans, I feel like they don't care that it's a limited release because I'm pretty sure most of them are going to get it.
Right.
They're just like, oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna get that.
Right. And I think that there's also a thought in the community that like, oh, if we don't support this, then the games that we really want to be translated, like Fire Emblem 4, which is Genealogy of the Holy War, or Fire Emblem 6, which is Roy's game, might not get localized then if they don't see success.
Wait, is that the one with Lyn?
No. Lyn is Fire Emblem 7. Roy is Fire Emblem 6.
Was Fire Emblem 7 available in English?
Yes.
Then everything's fine with the world.
Okay. Yeah, FE7 was the first English released one. Anyway, so I think that the FE community, like, yeah, they're irritated, I guess, with the limited release thing, but I don't see anywhere near as much outrage because they're just happy to have the Nintendo actively considering releasing the older games now. And I do wonder how this will impact other older titles going forward. I hope, for the love of God...
Mother 3.
Yeah, people are suggesting Mother 3 in the chat. I hope, for the love of God, that they don't, it's like, okay, we're going to do a limited release on Mother 3, or something like that, because that would be actually disgusting, right?
Oh, yeah, we're releasing Mother 3 on the 30th. It goes on the 31st. Have fun, guys.
The eShop would crash.
Better get it quickly, or else you're never going to get to.
Yeah, that's the plan.
The eShop would crash.
That's the plan.
Anyone notice that all the limited releases the Nintendo games is just making is just anniversary titles? Yeah, I was pointing that out. That's been brought up in the chat before in the podcast. It seems as though that Nintendo just is afraid to commit to the modern standard of a collection. Because, like, on Xbox, for example, you have Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and not only was that not an anniversary title. I mean, it was, I do believe, but it was not. Its distribution plan was not at all similar to the Nintendo ideology of one, in that they kept updating it and supporting it years after release and adding new games in reach, right? So, so yeah. I just think that Nintendo's problem is that they are concerned that if they do a collection or something to that effect, that it will somehow devalue the content that had been previously released, or the significance of the anniversary itself. Which I know that's absolutely bafflingly nonsense, but we are talking about Kyoto businessmen here, old men stockholders that think that fear of missing out is a valid business strategy. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, while it's very anti-consumer, it worked.
Yeah, because 3D All-Stars sold millions of copies, and it probably will continue to until it's taken out.
Imagine if Nintendo, like on the 31st, was just like, nah, we've decided how well it sold, we're just keeping it up. Imagine how pissed off people would be.
I don't know
You
how
got to
I
do
would.
that.
I actually don't know how people would react there, because I feel like on one hand, people would be like, okay, well, you just shouldn't have made it a limited release at all to begin with. But on the other hand, I think that people would be happy considering that Nintendo and their tone deafness actually meant something, because people actually, they actually listened for once, which was that we should not do that. And the same thing with Fire Emblem 30th anniversary and other stuff. Speaking of the 30th anniversary, though, I managed to secure my pre-order on the collector's edition. Yeah, boy!
Nice.
Wait, there was a collector's edition?
Yeah.
What was in that?
It's like a bunch of memorabilia and collectibles and a specialized art book and all sorts of stuff like that. Stuff
How
that
much was it?
It was $50, and it does include the game.
Imagine if it didn't. That would be a sad thing.
Yeah, if it didn't include the game, I would not have bought it.
That's the one thing I'd expect from a collection, the game.
Oh god, there's so many collector's editions nowadays that don't include the game.
That's literally the one thing you should expect.
Exactly.
What do you buy it for? Like, here's a collector's edition for the game. You don't get the game. You gotta buy it digital. You gotta buy it separately. Deal with it. It's like, huh? This is why I'm buying this collector's edition. I want the game with it.
People are asking about the Sora leak in the chat.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, that's
okay.
right. We need to talk
First
about
of
the
all,
Sora
okay,
leak.
let's just say this. It is fake.
TNJ.
Specifically,
TNJ.
the
It is fake.
Yeah.
Shut up. I need. In case you don't know, the Sora leak came out recently, saying there'd be a Game Awards reveal, which won't happen, by the way. We aren't getting a Game Awards reveal, and it was
It's a
few pictures of
possibility.
Sora. And to be honest, the models didn't look bad, but you can tell it's a mod.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like,
I
even pointed.
It was
I
a good
pointed out-
model.
I pointed out at Narashante for Smash uploaded that onto their account. I was like, this looks like a screen cap from Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
like
and
the
then
lighting
I
model.
elaborated on that, saying it looks exactly like his pose and facial expression when Sora uses the guard ability from Kingdom Hearts 3.
Man, he looks dead inside.
He does. That's one of the other things. I'm like, this is so fake because like they wouldn't have Sora for a character like Sora of all characters. They
Of course,
wouldn't have him look dead inside.
Yeah,
They
they'd
would
make
have him being
they,
like
they would
they
they
would
would
have
make
him
they would make him look even more depressed.
naturally. No,
Yeah.
they would
They would make him emo boy.
yeah. No, they would for sure make his render be like, I am happy to be here. I am right here. I did not bring Goofy and Donald, but I am here. I'm a fight.
I don't even want to get into Donald and Goofy because that's
I'm
gonna
not
open.
gonna get into, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
want to get
gonna
into it either. Trust me.
That will open a can of worms that will take up the rest of the podcast.
That'd be a can of worms that I don't want to deal with.
So yeah, Sora leak. Fake as hell. It's a Photoshop Little Mac.
That's actually probably a texture edit over Shulk based on the movements and stuff.
Yeah, Shulk's just a Photoshop Little Mac.
Yeah. So yeah, Little Mac.
But I might as well ask now. This kind of leak, what do you think Sora's chances are?
Sora is honestly a difficult character for me to see getting into Smash. Like, I would like Sora getting in Smash. I think it'd be really fun. Sora definitely seems like a character to have amazing aerial ability from seeing the gameplay from Kingdom Hearts. It's very aerial based, and that gives Sora just the best aerials, and I like that a lot. But with that said, there is a big stinky rat problem with the key man. I don't think Disney is gonna let Sora get into Smash. If I'm wrong, awesome. If I'm right, also awesome. But I am more leaning towards Disney being like, no, that is my character. I will sue.
I mean, they did let Wreck-It Ralph, into a Sonic kart race, so to be fair.
That is true.
And I feel like they'd be a lot more protective over that, over Wreck-It Ralph, than they would about Sora.
That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, that's fair. Well,
though I don't really care about Sora. I would unironically prefer a Club Penguin. I don't hate
Disney
Sora.
rep.
Yeah, the best Disney rep.
Yeah,
What
like someone in chat said, there's also the Square Enix problem.
Square Enix don't have a problem, and even if you would argue they do, Square Enix have zero legal right over them. But Square Enix are fine in general. There just can be accounts of a bad situation, like Dragon Quest, for example. Yeah, the composer is a less than stellar guy, to put it lightly. And for Final Fantasy, the music and official art are owned by multiple companies. So they'd have to pay off multiple companies to get that official art for spirits or music.
There is just a whole lot of jank when it comes to the licensing with these guys.
But yeah, they're fine. They're usually fine to work with. Can we just as long as you don't take it too far, Mike, I guess just don't bring in the drama.
I honestly don't know what happened, but I don't want to bring that into the podcast itself, so I'm not gonna ask.
Okay, but what about SpaceKing? What do you think about Sora's chances?
It's complicated because the thing is that Disney had this initiative near the start of the 8th generation to be its own publisher for its own games, and that all completely fell apart. So they have been just licensing their content out, and you'll see like just Disney games like licensed out to any random shovelware developer that you can throw out there. So I don't really understand the whole legal argument if random developer you've never heard of pumping out random shovelware you've never heard of X can get a Disney property. I don't see why Nintendo couldn't get a Disney property in Sora and Kingdom Hearts. That having been said, I do think that there is probably more legal red tape than there is in the average character. For example, but then again, we also have to consider that Nintendo went as far as negotiating with Microsoft not once but twice for representatives who is their direct competitor in the console space. So I don't think that legal red tape is in and of itself directly prohibitive. I do think that there is probably, like, any developer who's told you could be in Smash Bros, you're gonna say yes. Like, just about any developer, right?
I couldn't think of anyone who say no.
Yeah, it's just about getting it cleared with the people with the money. And to that angle, we just have to consider whether or not Hero was profitable for Nintendo and Square Enix. And considering that we had that circumstance where Nintendo revealed that like DLC sales for Ultimate were apparently really good, we can infer enough. Hero most likely did very well. So with that in mind, it makes business sense. And I don't think the legal tape is prohibitive in the side of Disney, considering that they let their IP go to just about anyone. So, really, I do think that Sora has a fair shot. That having been said, whether or not he is the next fighter, or he's at the Game Awards, or if he's just a random Nintendo Direct character, or if he's in the game at all, it's anyone's game. It really is.
I might as well go next, because I know C&J loves Sora, so I'm going to say him for last. With Sora, I think a lot of the arguments against him are just either people not wanting to get upset or just complete bias. That being said, I feel like people overrate the chance that Nintendo would want whoever's doing that, can you please stop? Thank you. I feel like people do overrate the chance of Nintendo approaching Disney for Sora.
What is that noise?
1 minute.
I think it's CNJ.
I do not know at all. Sorry, someone's speaking in the background, and I thought that should be really quiet. Hold on.
Just ping me. I'll mute you for the time being. But yeah, as I was saying, sorry about that. With Sora, I feel like people either overrate or underrate his chances to an insane degree. Personally, I think he has a decent shot. Everything being considered, I think he makes sense in Realms. But I also don't think he makes up to a point of sense where he is a lock. As he is still... I would say he still isn't a massive character, but also... I wouldn't say he's massive enough to be considered an icon, but also not in the same vein as characters like Cloud. But also not niche enough to be considered a Terry. He's kind of in an awkward middle ground for me, where it's hard to say he would be a niche, where it's hard to label him what it'd be in that sense. I feel like Sora's more likely than he is not, but he wouldn't be in my personal top 10 most likely, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But
I can definitely... sorry, but I can definitely see Sora getting in, but at the same time, it's just like...
Yeah.
That was weird.
I feel like there are more likely candidates, though.
Yeah.
And...
I'm guessing it's my turn, since all of you
And
went.
one thing I will also say with the Disney side is, it may be a little different considering Nintendo's partnering with Wonder Bros. So,
Oh, dang it. My keyboard fell over.
What happened?
Oof.
Rip.
It's fine, I think.
But I think considering Nintendo's heavily collaborating with Wonder Bros, simply saying Disney would be fine with it is a little brash. I feel like they would be fine with it, but that is something else you'll need to consider the fact that Nintendo is heavily collaborating with their direct main competitor at the minute.
Yeah.
I still think Sora is more likely than he is not likely, though. As Smash would be big advertising for Kingdom Hearts, and it would also be giving Disney money, so I don't see a reason for them to say no.
Yeah.
CNJ?
All right then. As you guys all know, Sora is my second most wanted, and he's also kind of probably in the top 10 most likely on my list. I'll just say this. First, let's just take in matter that he's not owned by Square Enix. He's owned by Disney. Sora's owned by Disney, but Square Enix develops Kingdom Hearts, so that means he develops Kingdom Hearts. Proof of that was from a document in E3 2002, where it said new Disney characters: Sora, Riku, Kairi, Heartless, blah blah blah. So yeah, that means Sakurai would have to go to Disney. With Disney, it would be a little bit weird. Some people would say that, oh no, they cannot buy Sora because Disney might put a big price on Sora. Oh no. Well, we're not even sure, but I'm thinking that he'll probably not. The only question that I would have is, what about Donald and Goofy? Because if you guys know Kingdom Hearts, and a quote from Kingdom Hearts, Sora says, quote, "My friends are my power," aka Donald and Goofy. They have been on his side for almost every game. People would say that Sora cannot be in because you would have to add those two in, and they're media characters. I'm gonna say no to that because in some games, like Dream Drop Distance, Recoded, Chain of Memories, Sora, actually not Chain of Memories, just Dream Drop Distance and some of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, you only play as Sora. Sora is the only team member there. There's no Goofy or Donald playable in any capacity. And yeah, there's that. Also, since Kingdom Hearts 3, when it came out, it's been the best selling Kingdom Hearts 3 game by far, and the most anticipated by far. And Disney, and really Disney is taking the matter of fact that Kingdom Hearts is much bigger than they originally thought. Right? Nomura was right all along. It is much bigger than we thought. And one way we can actually see that is because of Melody of Memory. We would not expect a rhythm game of Kingdom Hearts, right? Except because, you know, Yoko Shimomura is a composer and she's amazing. But other than that, yeah, no one thought about that. And not even just that, there have been rumors and stuff about a Disney Plus TV show about Kingdom Hearts, made with CGI animation with Unreal Engine 4, which is what the Kingdom Hearts games use. If you take all of that into matter with Smash, its popularity, how Sora could work, I believe he has a shot. I'm not going to say he's the most likely, but I'm not going to say that he's not likely at all. He's kind of in high middle in a way. Like let's do tiers. Like he's like high middle tier or low high tier. So yeah, that's what's my stance on Sora. But if I had to pick a Disney rep, I would have to pick Epic Mickey. I'm sorry, I just love him so much. Even though he's never going to happen.
Much like the story, his chances are all over the place.
Yes. I would not even be surprised if we got Xehanort instead.
I do want to mention...
And all of his alts are just different versions. Old Xehanort, young Xehanort.
Hello?
He had mute.
Oh.
Oh. Well, I guess Xehanort kidnapped him. Yeah, I get SpaceKing. You know the basement we locked you in for a while.
Yeah.
You might want to check there. But okay, well, I do want to mention one thing which CNJ said about Sora. The thing about Donald and Goofy. This is my personal opinion, but I feel like Nintendo would try and get them. Because it's not because it's the best representation of Kingdom Hearts, though in my opinion it is, but more because it would be amazing promotion for them.
Mhm.
And I feel that's why I kind of expect at least those two. But even then, I wouldn't draw out Mickey Mouse showing up.
Hmm.
Put it this way: if you got those characters, it would be huge promotion for Smash. It would basically put its promotion higher than Steve would.
Yeah.
You basically have the mascot of entertainment there. I don't feel like they would. I don't feel like at the minute they would ever try and get a fourth party rep, but I feel like they would try and get a workaround in this one case, which would work for Sakurai.
I can see Nintendo like asking for Donald and Goofy, being like say the chance comes and Disney says yes to giving to Sora for Smash. I can see Nintendo asking for the two, but Disney being like, okay, listen, you can have Sora, but we don't want you to have Donald and Goofy. I can see that happening, but I could also see Donald and Goofy being the only exceptions for Disney characters getting into Smash.
Personally, I feel like we could also see Mickey Mouse. I feel like that is a bit of a stretch, but I feel like they could be the exceptions.
I
Though
mean
I wouldn't expect more than taunts and maybe a final Smash cinematic.
him and Donald have both been referenced in Smash. Like they've been
Mickey
like
Mouse
their
was
name.
in Brawl.
Yeah, their names have been said in Smash already. So that confirms Sora. No,
No, it confirms Epic Mickey.
no, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, Sora. I think it's the general consensus says he isn't a lock, but he is fairly likely.
Yeah.
Now we're getting over to the big news, and CNJ decided to dip for it because he's scared of the. But before we get to the big news, Cooper, I must ask you something important.
What is up?
What is your opinion on Fortnite and Smash?
Just that whole topic is just one big uh
Well, we're walking into that topic.
fun.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
So,
I'm like this is just because of personal reasons. I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, mainly because TF2 takes up most of my life. So
what's your opinion of Fortnite and Smash?
I mean, I can see it happening considering the major impact that Fortnite had on like gaming as a whole. Not really gaming as a whole, but just the major impact that it had. So I can see it happening, but that does not mean I want it to happen because that is not true. I don't want Fortnite anywhere near Smash.
All
Like
right,
I wouldn't be angry if I got Smash. I'd just be slightly disappointed.
okay. Now, what's your opinion on Kratos in Smash: The God of War?
That's an interesting one because I have not played a God of War game in my life. I haven't even touched it. I haven't even touched the game. But considering, like, I think like Kratos would be fairly unique in Smash. Like the kind of weapons he has in. Okay, really, it depends on what Kratos we're talking about. I would assume we're talking about like original Kratos with his like the chain swords. If we go for that Kratos, I feel like he'd be really unique. because that's the kind of weapon that we have never seen in a character for Smash in Smash. But if we're talking about modern Kratos, it would still be unique because besides Steve, we have never seen a character use primarily an axe. I may be wrong about this. I may be wrong, but I feel like Kratos, if we were to go for his modern design and his modern abilities, like weapons and such, he would be like the first primarily axe fighter in Smash.
Absolutely not.
Okay, yeah.
I played God of War 4 as well as the other games.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't have much knowledge of God of War.
Okay,
So,
the Frost Axe is the weapon that you use for the first half of the game in God of War. But
gotcha.
the reason for that is that Kratos, as a conscious decision, chose not to use the Blades of Chaos, the weapon he's known for using throughout the story, because, just because of personal reasons and the fear of falling back into the violent and pathological decisions he used to make in the previous God of War games. And it's a great character building moment when he, instead of taking up those weapons again, out of, because he wants to be powerful, he takes it up because he needs to be powerful to protect his son during the course of the game. He takes up the weapons willingly, and it's a great character building moment. Now, anyways, Kratos, his fighting style, if you want to use a fighting style based on God of War 4, you would use a mixture of the tools that he has available in that game. So he's good at hand-to-hand combat. He has hand-to-hand combat. He can use a shield, and he can use it offensively. He has his axe, and then he has the Blades of Chaos. And that's the four components that would make up his moveset, if you based it on God of War 4. Now, actually, Sakurai, having a penchant for using all aspects of a character, would probably use other weapons from other God of War games.
Thank you for telling me this, because the way I thought of Kratos in Smash was super boring, and I did not like it. So thank you for telling me this.
Kratos would not be boring at all in Smash. He would actually be a very good and interesting character.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. But the way my first instinct to say was he would just be Axe. But I realized, wait, no, he has more weapons. What am I saying?
He won't just be
his neutral special is Atreus. I mean, actually, I think that Atreus could probably play into his moveset as well. Where the character is actually technically two characters, so it would be Kratos and Atreus.
Kratos and boy.
Now, what's your chance of what do you think the chance of Kratos is in Smash is?
1%. I'm not gonna say 0.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna say 0 because I do acknowledge that crazier things have happened in the gaming industry, but it's so close to 0 that it's almost 0. It's 1%.
Yeah, I don't see Kratos happening at all. It'd be cool, but at the same time, that's not gonna happen.
Now, how do you feel about Kratos on a Nintendo console free Fortnite?
Well,
this was going somewhere.
Well, you gotta think about this. A lot. Sony invested a lot of money into Epic Games last year. They don't own Epic Games, but they did invest a lot because they pay dividends, and
all that led to them owning less than 2%.
Yeah, but that's considering how big and how much cash that Epic Games makes, that's paying bills. So, and then obviously it led to a greater level of collaboration between the two. We already have a PlayStation rep in Joker. That's not the case Anyways,
He's
No,
he's Sega.
he's Sega.
and Atlas. Well, actually, the copyright is Atlas, actually. Because
I think
they
I
got
think
Persona 5 was a property of Atlas before Sega had purchased them. They had already squared away their ownership of the Persona 5 IP. So when you see copyrights for Persona 5 and Persona 5 adjacent properties, it's Atlas. But Sega are the publishers. Anyways, that's why the copyright is Atlas on the home screen.
Like they're just not in any way owned by anything Sony. They're just on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah. It's not even an exclusivity contract as Persona 4 shows.
Yeah, cause since Persona 4 is on Steam now, right?
Yes.
All right. We're still missing our Capcom rep.
Give me the funny lawyer. That's what I want. That's the Capcom rep that I want. Funny lawyer.
Bing Bing Wahoo Pizza Man. That's what I want.
I second funny lawyer. All right,
Even though I run for a Bar for Smash account, Phoenix Wright is my #1. I want this funny lawyer. I want to scream objection in Ridley's face.
honestly, I don't mind Dante, but when I think of him in Smash, I feel like he could be unique, but my reaction is just meh.
Yeah.
I like Dante, but I can't help but just feel meh when I hear the thought of him in Smash.
Like that's the way I see it. Like Dante is probably more likely to be the next Capcom rep, but if we're talking a more exciting like moveset for a Capcom rep, Phoenix would definitely be one of, if not the most unique character in Smash Bros. Because he's a lawyer. You're not gonna get anyone else like that unless you get Apollo as his Echo Fighter. But still,
What
you're
about
not gonna any.
what about Edgeworth?
No, Edgeworth would not work as an Echo Fighter at all. Cause
Yeah, but okay, this is my opinion on it. You know how people think Virgil is better than Dante?
mm-hmm.
That's how I feel around Edgeworth and Phoenix. Obviously, Phoenix would get in over
Edgeworth.
yeah, and like
Unless
Dante
Edgeworth
getting
was an
over-
Echo Fighter.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
That would not work. Apollo
Yeah.
is literally Nick's apprentice. He's literally Nick's understudy. So Apollo would work the most as an Echo Fighter for Phoenix.
Yes, but if I'm not badly mistaken, Apollo has his own distinct abilities.
Hold on. Let's think about this. Phoenix Wright is a defense attorney, while Edgeworth is a prosecutor. They would act differently in a moveset. So Edgeworth wouldn't work as an Echo Fighter for Nick, because Nick would be on the defense while still attacking, of course, while Edgeworth would be the one who's like constantly attacking since he is a prosecutor. And since Apollo is also a defense attorney like Nick, he would work better as the Echo Fighter for Phoenix.
Yeah, that's like my one problem with it. Phoenix should be much more defensive, while Edgeworth should be much more offensive, and they would have lots of differences in their attacks. I mean,
and also Edgeworth has a sword, so.
I mean, theoretically, it could work, but I feel like it would be such a waste of an opportunity just to have Edgeworth as an Echo.
The only way I could see Edgeworth being anywhere like with Phoenix, it would be like Phoenix would have his like Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3 look and his modern older look, and with his older look, it have all referencing Edgeworth, since his older attire is much more close to Edgeworth's attire than his old attire is.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go mute. Just.
All right.
It's me and you now.
Hell yeah. But also, a Capcom rep in general, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I feel like people overrate the odds of a Capcom rep, though I don't feel like it's necessarily unlikely.
Yeah, I think considering that Capcom already has 3 characters in Smash with Mega Man, Ryu, and Ken, I feel like they wouldn't be opposed to giving them another character, but at the same time, I don't think Nintendo would be asking for another one.
I
Though
feel like they,
I do hope. I do
I
hope.
feel I feel like they could ask for another one. I feel
Yeah.
like it's decently likely. And if they do it, I'll be blunt. Someone like Monster Hunter isn't happening. It's between Phoenix and Dante.
Yeah. Phoenix and
It's
Dante are the 2 like big boys left for
Mon,
Capcom.
Mon, I'll explain what I mean with Monster Hunter. So I know why people think he's likely, but with
Yeah.
but with Monster Hunter, the old me costumes likely had their legal work done before Pass 2 was even on the table. So
Whenever
all those old me costumes are likely just returning because all the legal work was likely done.
Yeah, whenever the direct came for Smash that showed Rathalos as a boss, I was for sure expecting that in that same direct Monster Hunter would be announced as a fighter. They didn't, so I was like, okay,
I'm back.
maybe they'll eventually get. Welcome back. But yeah, anyway, I was expecting Monster Hunter to get a spot on the roster because if we got Rathalos, but that hasn't happened yet. So now I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And if it does, cool. It's not my funny lawyer, but okay, whatever.
I just wanted to point out that we have been going for very nearly 2 hours.
Okay, so I just want to get the main topic out the way because we got sidetracked.
Yeah,
Kratos is now on a Nintendo console.
that he is, and it's crazy that it's to Fortnite of all things.
I get why it happened, but I mean, the part that shocks me is still amazing to see the the lengths that Fortnite's went to. I feel like it or not, I think it deserves a rep at this point or not. You can't deny that Fortnite's going to leave an impact
Mm-hmm.
in its lifetime. I feel like saying it's too new to be in Smash is a valid argument, though. I'm just going to say
Mm-hmm.
that because I don't want this to turn into another Smash should he get in debate.
Yeah, let's know it.
But so I do get where people are coming from there. But all I'm going to say is, with that, you can't deny Fortnite's had this impact now. I really don't
Yeah.
think you can.
Fortnite has had a major impact on gaming, like I said earlier.
And with
So if Jonesy or anyone from Fortnite were to get into Smash, it would most likely either be on the same level or surpass Steve.
I think it would be depending on when he was revealed.
Yeah.
But something else I do want to say here is Master Chief was also leaked to becoming a Fortnite with and if you have Kratos on the PlayStation version, he has like an exclusive armor set. So and Master Chief's been leaked with multiple colors, which is likely an Xbox exclusive feature, meaning it could also bring Master Chief to a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
So this is my question here: will Nintendo get a piece of that pie and add, I don't know, someone like Samus, for example?
I can honestly see it happening. Like, I don't see with how Nintendo is with some characters. I don't see it being wide console spread. It could certainly happen. I could be wrong. It definitely could certainly happen that if Samus or whoever got into Fortnite, it could definitely be like different like the skin goes on to different consoles. But like knowing how Nintendo works with some characters, I I doubt that they would like let their character be on an Xbox or PlayStation. Like I wouldn't doubt it happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen.
this is my take on it. With how the fact that they've managed to work with Sony, a company which literally blocked people's Fortnite's accounts and get this more flat. I feel like Nintendo would be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I feel like if anyone could accomplish it, unironically, I feel like Epic Games has the best shot so far. And I feel like they'll do it.
That brings you. Sorry, you continue.
But I do feel like Nintendo would want a bigger exclusive feature than just an armor set. Something like let's say we get Samus, for example. I feel like they'd want a full-on Zero Suit Samus exclusive part in the Nintendo version.
Yeah.
As an example.
This does bring the thought that if it does happen, most likely people are going to be like, "This confirms Josie for Smash." Like, no, shut up.
You know what? If it happens, I'm gonna have such a fun time pissing people off by saying that.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't get you with this whole like, oh, like how funny it is to piss people off. Like, no, dude, like really, trolling is fun and all, but it just kind of gets tiring after a while.
It only starts being funny when people start reacting.
Ugh, I don't know. Like, it was all fun and stuff, like, when you were going about it, like, early on, but, like, this is coming up every podcast now, my dude.
It's because Fortnite's kind of being relevant at the minute. To be fair, no offense, but with Kratos comes on Nintendo console, do you expect me just to ignore it?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying, like, the whole trolling angle. It's like, a lot of people in the Smash community are saying stuff like that, like, oh, look how funny, like, it would be that, oh, you don't get the character that you want. We have funny meme man from Fortnite. Like, sure, that's, like, kind of funny to dunk on people's hopes, but at the same time, I just get flashbacks to, like, the whole stuff with, like, the Piranha Plant, where people were just using it to just absolutely piss on people that genuinely wanted characters like for example Isaac or Shadow, right? Waluigi, etc., right? And I don't like that. Like, if people want Jonesy, that's fine. I don't care if somebody genuinely likes Jonesy and think he would make for a good addition. My problem is the people that want him just to make other people upset. Like, that's ridiculous and childish, in my opinion.
I want to clarify one thing here. I like to annoy people with the idea of Jonesy. I actually do genuinely want him. Not because I want to see people pissed off, but because I've actually gone back into Fortnite. I like to piss people off when they're being toxic as shit. Because if people are just living their day not really caring, I probably won't try and piss them off randomly, unless they're close friends. But that's kind of what I mean. If people are being toxic, I will poke that bear just to prove a point.
Yeah, people are being toxic about it. I feel like it's only fair to be like.
I wouldn't say it's fair. It's
not fair. Yeah, no, not fair.
Just like they're asking for it at that point.
Yeah, like not really fair. That's not the right word, but like they're asking for it. They're basically asking for us to be like,
like I understand not wanting Jonesy.
Yeah,
I can respect if you don't want him. I won't be an asshole and go to someone who says they just don't want Jonesy and send some shitty hose mad meme. But the difference is if someone's being an asshole about it, you might as well take the piss out of them rather than just get annoyed at them.
Yeah.
Because like they're just asking for it. Like they're asking to be like, be annoyed with me. Come on, do it. I want it. So then, like making them annoyed, it's like, got what you deserved.
I don't know. I just see things a bit differently, is all.
Perfectly fair. We all have different opinions.
I used to be in the whole like trolling subculture myself, but I sort of just bowed out after a while. And people are in my background now. Anyways, I used to be in a whole trolling subculture thing myself, like several years back. Not particularly pertaining to Smash, just other stuff. And it just got boring for me after a while. And then I realized like a lot of people were just getting like actually viciously annoyed. So it's just like, yeah, I'll just lay off. I don't see it the same way I used to. Like I used to feel like almost verbatim the exact way. Just take the piss out of it on people that are basically begging for it. But even at that point, it's just like, even if you give it any attention at all, that's when something could turn from a funny to maybe a potential problem down the road, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen a couple times where people that I thought that I was just like messing around with, like they came back to haunt me in a sense later on.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't mean to get very serious on a podcast. I was just bringing that whole situation up.
No,
Yeah, you're fine.
Anyways, I have to go mute again. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Alright.
Like that. Like honestly, that's kind of how I am with Heavy from TF2, since he's my number 2 most wanted, and like most people are like, he's just a meme pick. He would never get into Smash. I'm like, yes, there are many memes of Team Fortress 2, but that in and of itself does not make Heavy a meme pick. That's like saying, like, for using Waluigi for example, a lot of people are saying like, he's just a meme pick. I'm like, just because a character has many memes, which yes, Waluigi has a lot of memes, that does not make them itself a meme character. That just makes no sense. That makes no sense logically to say that. So whenever I hear people say that as an actual like reason they shouldn't be in Smash, I find it not really appropriate or fair, but more like,
I love
come on,
how
you're
I think that always amused me because at least I can kind of get Waluigi and having characters like that. But Steve, like, yeah, he has memes, but he is one of the most. Probably from one of the most important games.
he is like literally one of the most important. I mean, considering that Minecraft is the highest grossing game of all time, I think that's a pretty keen sign that the game is pretty important. But yeah, that doesn't make, just because there's a lot of like Minecraft memes, or that there's like the fan base got like a little bit like that does not make the character itself a meme pick. Same with characters from Undertale like Sans or Frisk or whatever. There's many Undertale memes. There's a lot of people being like toxic fan base, that dreaded side of the fan base, whatever. We're not getting into that. But just because a fan base is toxic or there's a lot of memes for it, that doesn't make them a bad pick, or that they're a meme pick. That just makes no sense in logic to me.
I feel like people can want you for memes. You can have memes around you, but you won't be a meme pick if one person genuinely wants you.
Yeah.
Which so basically no one's a meme pick.
Except for Shrek and Goku, but whatever.
I mean, even then, I feel like there's at least one person who genuinely wants them. And
yeah.
probably doesn't think they're likely at all, but wants them.
They want them because they're funny.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. But there are definitely some characters that I want that I only want for the sole reason because I think it'd be funny. Like my number one for that category is Bubsy. I hate Bubsy as a character. I think he's so annoying.
but I don't want Bubsy in Smash just because it'd get people really, really mad, which it would. I just think it'd be hilarious to say Bubsy the Bobcat is playable in Smash Bros. The same game that has Steve from Minecraft and Banjo Kazooie. That I find hilarious, and that is why I want him.
At base, I really wanted Bubsy to be an assist trophy. Just comes on and just mocks you.
I guess I can see one of his taunts being like a Palutena's guidance, except it's just him, just talking nonstop, where you just want to be like, "Shut up," which is
Make him like
all
Mr.
of
Rossetti, but voice acted.
Yeah.
You can't attack him though. He has the power of being in a 3D game, so you just step
He
back.
he has the power of being Bubsy.
Yeah, Bubsy's just too powerful for Smash.
Yeah.
But
Which it's a damn shame.
I want it. But you know what I do want if we do get something for Bubsy in DLC? I want at
What's up?
least his top as a Mii costume.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting Mii costume.
I do feel like Bubsy kind of does deserve a tiny bit of representation, considering he is kind of important. He's one of the reasons we got Uncharted. As the team went on to make that, and he's also one of the most famous examples of how not to make a game. So I feel
Bubsy's one of those characters that are like, I want you in Smash, but at the same time, please never, ever, ever get near this game ever, please. But also, please come into the game, please. I want to main you. He's one of those characters.
Bubsy, I will actually don't have a problem with Bubsy, but I just don't think he's playable at the minute.
I definitely wouldn't have a problem with Bubsy. I wouldn't be
What could
angry.
possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? I wouldn't be angry that Bubsy's in the Smash. I would just be in shock and just nonstop laughter. Cause that's funny.
Personally, I don't really want any characters just because I think that'd be funny. I want characters that I would probably laugh at if they got in, but I don't just want characters just because that'd be funny.
Yeah, but Bubsy is probably like my only character on that list. Like I have other characters that have the reason, like one of the reasons is because I think it'd be funny to play as them like Phoenix Wright. I think it'd be funny that a lawyer is getting into a fighting game, but that is not the sole reason why I want a character like that. Because I love the Ace Attorney games. I think he's already in Marvel vs. Capcom, so he already has like it's already shown that he can be in a fighting game setting and works well in a fighting game setting. And I guess while I'm on it, I guess I could say my other top 5 really, but I don't want to get into too much detail. Number 1, Phoenix Wright. Number 2, Heavy, because I love TF2 a lot.
Man, that's a heavy pick.
No. Wait, no. Number 2 is Bard. Whoops, sorry. Number 2 is Bard because I love Wonder Song. Number 3 is Heavy. Number 4 is Isaac from The Binding of Isaac because besides like Wonder Song is my favorite game of all time, and as a result is my favorite indie game of all time. But my second favorite indie game is The Binding of Isaac because it's so like that game has like a lot of replayability. It never gets old, and I think that Isaac, like he could bring in a bunch of his items, and he'd be so fun, dude. And my number 5 is Conquer, because honestly I don't know why I want Conquer as much as I do, but I think Conquer would just be like one of the most like interesting characters in Smash, to say the least. Because he'd be the only M-rated character that doesn't look like he'd be one, but he'd bring like guns and rockets and all that, and I find that amazing, beautiful, and kind of funny. But Conquer, it's just one of those characters that are like, you would work perfectly in Smash. Get in there.
My hot take is that I would have preferred Conquer over Banjo.
I feel like Conquer would have a more interesting moveset than Banjo. Not that Banjo's moveset is bad. I mean, I main him. I love Banjo's moveset. But
It's a
looking
tad-
at Conker's games compared to Banjo's games and what could work in a moveset, Conker would have the much more interesting moveset than Banjo could ever wish for. And that does hurt, because I love Banjo. But at the same time. And it's also funny that they're both rare characters, so they one-upped each other. Like Conker one-upped basically his own brother from the same studio. I think that's just funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should get ready to wrap this up when SpaceKing gets back.
Yeah.
Because it's getting late for me and I'm getting tired.
It's only it's only 7 for me, but I'm just like, I haven't been able to relax, like lay on my bed since I got home. But I'm not complaining about that because I love my time on here. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to lay down, man. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I want to stay on here for a little bit longer.
So what? All right then. While we wait for SpaceKing, we might as well answer some questions. So 1 minute. I know there was some questions which we missed because they kept asking questions. There was one. What's your opinions on a mobile rep in Smash?
A mobile rep, ooh. Honestly, if it was a character like Crazy Dave or like Angry Birds, that'd be honestly really fun in Smash. Like especially Crazy Dave. Like if we're talking like mobile game reps, Crazy Dave would probably be like the most probably the most unique one of them all. But then there's also characters like Red, Berry Steak Fries, and
Is he the
I
guy
don't.
from Jetpack Joyride?
Yeah,
Punk. There's also characters like Catalina who used to be very high in speculation.
yeah,
And Eden,
yeah.
who
But
Nintendo owns.
like if we're talking like mobile game reps, like Crazy Dave. Well, yes, I know that it wasn't originally for mobile. It is probably most known for being on not consoles, this
Wait, but
mobile devices.
honestly, I didn't really even know it was on mobile until recently.
Huh, really. But like, but yeah, like Plants vs Zombies is one of those games that are like really important for the genre, real kinda. 'Cause, like, and I think he'd be one of the most like unique mobile game reps. But if we're not counting Crazy Dave as a mobile game, I would assume that Red from Angry Birds would be the best choice for mobile game because like I know it seems odd at first, but once you really start to think about it, Red could potentially work good as a Smash fighter somehow. I'm sure they make it work. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah. God, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay. Hello?
What's up?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey, SpaceKing. We were actually just about ready to wrap up.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us on another episode of A New Podcast Approaches. I am about ready to pass out, so bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye bye.